minimizing risk in your business when it comes to things like safety, quality, compliance, productivity, becoming more efficient, developing our workforce, and financial performance. Now, we won't cover all of those today. I just want to zero in on one of them, which is safety, and how you can use AI tools in order to help you generate a program. Now, this program is Gemba, and Gemba is the Japanese word for at the actual place. So this involves getting up out of your office and going and seeing where the work is being done or where the service is being provided. Now, I love this topic because we didn't have these tools around when I was implementing Gemba programs, but now I use the tools in order to make change quickly, in order to drive efficiency and improve quality. There are so many remediation efforts that are going out in all sorts of different industries. So my goal is to show you how to do this regardless of industry. So in this example, in this video, my intent is to just demonstrate the prompts, use them at your own risk. I'm sure there are many of you out there that have even better prompts, but this is only for demonstration purposes. So behind me, I mapped out this workflow. Basically with Gemba, what you have is a corrective action and a preventive action. Those two workflows you need to be mindful of. So for instance, with a corrective action workflow, what I'm talking about related to that is an issue occurs. Let's say someone was injured in the workplace. That is a corrective action that you need to identify. But first, you have to investigate, how did they get injured? Why did they get injured? Were they not following a procedure? What was actually happening? Or did you lack a procedure? Or did you not give them the tools to do it in a safe way? Many questions. There are many frameworks that you can use. The 5 why framework, where you continuously ask why, and then for every answer, you keep digging why until you get to the 5th one. You can also use other frameworks for doing that. But the whole point now is you can use the AI tools in order to quickly get to the root cause, input the root cause, and that's super important, is going back and giving feedback to the AI to make it better. We always use logic with the AI tools. Doesn't make sense. Ensure that you have critiques. You do that through prompting by people that are really good in that specific area. And I'm going to share that with you towards the end of the video. These are some very powerful prompts that you can use to help remediate issues quickly. Now, results, of course, vary. It depends on how much effort you put into this. And I'm not there with you, but I would be happy to partner with you and develop a customized implementation plan for Gemba. The second workflow is the preventive workflow. Now, with this workflow, what we want to do is anticipate what we may not be looking at that is an issue, an underlying issue that is just waiting to come to the surface. What I like to do with this in order to generate ideas is look at the regulatory agencies for your specific industry. Look at any citations that companies have been cited for. Much of that information is easily accessible, but again, it can be made much easier to access by using the AI tools, ensuring that you prompt the AI tool that you use to go and provide source links. Where can you access that information? So for instance, in my industry, which is FDA regulated, I can go and look at all the FDA warning letters that have been issued for years. I can use those to input those letters into the AI, take an observation that they made or something that triggered them to get a warning letter. Okay, those are problematic areas and they happen everywhere, whether it's OSHA when it comes to safety, whatever regulated agency, you can get a lot of ideas to be proactive on what areas in my business should I be doing focus walks in. What might I be missing? And again, through prompting, generate specific areas to help mitigate any risk. There are so many things out there, so many intricacies to every business, and every business is unique. This is just with the intent to demonstrate how you can use it for yourself. But again, it goes back to how much effort. There's a property manager that has asked me to show them how to implement this type of program. So one of the things I want you to consider as you formulate these prompts, as I previously mentioned, we're going to start by focusing in on safety in this rental community. It's important going into this that you are very mindful when you're formulating your prompts because every situation is unique. So things that are not all inclusive, okay, but things you should consider when it comes to a rental community. So since we're talking safety, we want to see OSHA citations that may have happened in other rental communities. We want to consider what is the state level, what is the county level, if there's a county level citation, what is a local level. But again, the idea is just consider those things as you formulate your prompts. You also want to assess risk level. You want to think about what were the recent ones. You don't want it to go and pull observations from 50 years ago. You want it to be within the past, be specific, 5 or 6 months. You can also use the AI tool in order to prompt it to do the analysis, but tell you the 5 most recent areas of concern that might be related to your specific industry. Always make sure you're prompting for the source links. And what we want to generate for the first output is a checklist that can guide me through a Gemba walk to tell me these are areas that are being looked at by regulatory agencies. You want to be proactive in addressing and ensuring you don't have any similar concerns, but to actually give you a checklist so that you can go and do that. And in this demonstration, I'm going to do that with this specific specific rental community. But before we get to the fun part of the video, I remind you, there's only one requirement I have, and that is if you're watching my content, you have to subscribe. I'm giving you extremely valuable information for free. I've proven this with many businesses. I've been able to save businesses tens of millions of dollars. So all I ask for you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, click the alarm bell notification so you can get notified every time that I post a new video. Let's get into the demo part of the workshop. All right, let's go ahead and get into the workshop. So follow along with me. You're going to want to get your laptops out. Again, this is industry specific. You can insert whatever industry you are in into this type of prompting into your AI to generate your own customized output. This is for demonstration only. We're zeroing in on safety, OSHA violations in the local area for this community. So let's get into it. You are an expert with over 25 plus years with consistent, proven high performance in managing rental communities in Orange County, California. Do you understand? Next prompt, and I'll include all of these prompts in the description section. My client is a proactive rental community manager and wants to implement Gemba. He is interested in seeing recent OSHA violations for businesses in the region. He wants to take his team to walk the process and ensure he is not at risk of any similar issues. The citations could be state, county, or local level. The goal is to create a checklist that he and his team can use for the top 5 frequently observed citations in the past year. Here we go. Look, I got an excellent strategy. Okay, we'll get right to the next prompt. You'll see what it generates. Try it yourself. Critique your response from the standpoint of a high-performing OSHA inspector and environmental compliance officer. Do not provide your final output until the compliance officer has graded it A+. That'll save you some time, and you'll get that output there. But we're not done yet. We need to fine tune. Revise your response by adding your source links for reference information. You always want to make sure that you have where it's coming from, because if not, you can end up with a hallucination and you're not even getting the right information. Okay, so there we go. Now, did not like the very first output, but so I told it, I said, we need to refine this to be Gemba focus walk for management. Okay, so it missed that. So that's why it's important to fine tune it. There's a massive psychological and operational difference between an inspection audit and the management Gemba walk. The point with the Gemba is go and see, walk the process, observe. One of the most critical things with Gemba is ensuring there's no retaliation. People need to be aware of what you're doing and that there are not negative consequences to doing that. Otherwise, you're going to, from my personal experience, you can crush a culture like that. People will be in fear, and that's not healthy for you nor the business. So we did that much better aligned. So you can see with the engagement, walk me through the process, how you refill these spray bottles. What makes it difficult to keep the labels from peeling off or fading? You want to bring things to the surface proactively. That's what we're doing here. So these were all very good, but we still needed to do a bit more. So the next prompt, add a column to the spreadsheet. In this column, I want you to create a checklist that the manager can use to trigger thoughts on what they should be considering while observing the process. Now, why did I do that? Sometimes you go and observe the process and you might not think of all the questions you should be taking into consideration. So you want additional help there to fine tune it. Did you consider this? Did you consider that? Could this be a problem? What if I missed something? So that's why I created this prompt to generate that final output. Now, I'm going to show you the first output that I got with the first spreadsheet and the second output so you can see how I fine-tuned it. Let's go ahead and jump into our Google Sheets. This was the first output. Now, why didn't I like it? Well, I am high maintenance at times. Just kidding. But no, I do expect a lot from the tool. Again, this proves here you still need to be able to think. There you go. So it was boring. Pass, fail, inspector criteria. That's not what you want. Yes, you can do that as well. I'm not saying no, but we're trying to illustrate the concept of Gemba. So when I fine-tuned it, this is what I got. This is what I wanted. So focus areas, chemicals and HAZCOM, environmental, fall protection, lockout, tagout, heat and illness culture. Now it tells you here, the go and see, where to walk, maintenance shop, pool pump room, trash enclosures. You get the point. I'll include a link to this down below as well. The observation, what to watch for. But here's the bonus column over here. Questions that trigger while you're doing the observations. Are the labels we provide actually waterproof and chemical resistant? Do we buy in bulk to save money, but inadvertently create a decanting hazard? Again, just examples that you can use, customize it for your own personal industry. This is part of the workflow where we're looking at preventive actions that we can take based off of recent citations within the past year. That's what I did here. Hope that recap helps you. Look forward to seeing you in the next workshop. Don't forget, make sure you subscribe and follow down below so that we can continue these workshops. These are intended for us to practice the tools because it's moving very quickly. And granted, I'm not an expert at any of this, but I'll tell you, there are so many people out there that have not been using these tools, and I'm afraid of what they'll face once they are forced to. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.